Hello, my name is Benjamin Moore, and welcome to Keys to the Lexus. Now, I'm sure many of you have asked by this point, who is Benjamin Moore? Who am I, you ask? It's a very good question, and here's your answer. I'm an Atlanta native born and raised primarily in the West Metro Atlanta area. My parents are also Georgia natives, and in Georgia they both received their formal and collegiate education. In my youth, I became a martial artist and have since obtained my 3rd degree black belt with over 10 years of instructor experience. All throughout my academic career, I excelled as an honor student because of my innate drive towards epistemic pursuits. Early in my academic career, I very much enjoyed the sciences and I had very little interest in the language arts. I attended Pembroke High School and was the drum captain in the band, as well as a member of Gamma Chi Epsilon Science Society. In 2001, I graduated with honors and was awarded several scholarships to several universities, including the Georgia State University Presidential Scholarship, which was the offer that I took. In my first quarter at GSU, my academic performance awarded me a position on the Dean's List, which was the who's who of collegiate level scholars, with my 3.5 plus GPA. However, with all my newfound knowledge, I was bombarded by a wave of new interests. Within my first year, I changed my major 4 times before I settled in on business management. Yet, I was still unsure about my focus and passion in life. At this point, I knew I wanted to own my own business, but I just didn't know what kind of business. I now know that legacy has a powerful impression on one's focus because the entrepreneurial spirit amongst the siblings in my father's generation compelled many of their children into business ownership, self-included. At that time, my not having a strong grasp of my direction in life, coupled with a couple of disappointing academic events, fueled my loss of interest in the collegiate experience completely. Nearing the end of my sophomore year, I left GSU and I entered the workforce full-time. And though I left institutionalized learning, I never lost my thirst for knowledge. And soon after I left GSU, as I was frequenting the pages of the lexicon as I always do, I stumbled upon the word Lexus for the first time. It was this thirst that became the impetus to initiate my own self-directed study program, where I began with researching the principles of success, the most notable authors being Napoleon Hill and Robert Kiyosaki. I also satisfied my passion for the sciences by studying Nikola Tesla, Michio Kaku, and many others. Even further, I found a new interest in history and culture as I began to study scholars like Shankat Diop, Otman van Sertima, John Anthony West, and Robert Bauval, just to name a few. However, I believe that the most important fruit harvested within me on this journey would have to be the deep passion for music, poetry, dance, and most of all, language. In the few years that preceded entering the real world, my curriculum consisted of studies in the various fields of linguistics, poetry, music theory, contemporary history, theoretical science, theology, self-improvement, and many others. While immersed in this sea of discovery, I read a book called Super Memory, Super Student: How to Improve Your Grades in 30 Days by Harry Lorraine. In this book, it listed several mnemonic techniques for retaining various forms of data. From this methodology, the seed of the K to the L system was born, which was initially focused only on vocabulary, where I would envision the illustrative techniques described in the book as a full-out movie complete with engaging music and gripping dialogue. Almost in a flash, my mind recalled the word Lexus, and my intentions of revealing the nature of words sparked the creation of the title Keys to the Lexus. I instantly knew just how catchy and clever this title was, and I felt that it would be a pivotal element in the success of a product bearing its name. Soon after my initial revelation, I realized that the potential of the system was much more far-reaching than just simple word retention. I then sought to integrate the grammatical component. However, my initial attempts were inadequate in capturing the various nuances of grammatical experience. In the fall of 2008, I sought the guidance for the next stages of K to the L development. I returned to GSU under the tutelage of Dr. Mary B. Ziegler, professor of linguistics at Georgia State University. From the very start, Dr. Z has been the greatest supporter of my work, as well as being the greatest academic impetus for the K to the L movement. Quite honestly, I've come to think of her as my mother of knowledge, because her big heart and compassion was very nurturing while my knowledge in the field cultivated. Her many jewels have been the key to granting me the understanding that I now possess in the field of linguistics. While under her guidance, I've not only sat in on most of her classes, but I've also acted as her personal/research assistant, attended several academic conferences, and presented K to the L on several occasions. In witnessing her lectures, I met many undergrad and postgrad students that were very impressed by the K to the L system. I made many contacts with individuals and had even formed an intellectual council with several grad students who all supported the K to the L system. I also found many individuals in the field of linguistics that had issues with language for various reasons, ranging from its use to degrade certain cultural groups to the variety of inadequacies and/or discrepancies in the meta-languages of the field. Personally, one of the biggest revelations that I received was the understanding of variation in language. Variation exists amongst every language and in a variety of forms. The most notable are in terms of the sounds used and the words chosen. This directly reflects the social cultural condition of the individual. Both heritage and biases are born from this phenomenon, and I now seek to elevate the former and eliminate the latter. And I'm not alone. Now, though Dr. Z's crafting of my theory was essential, there was still the final piece that was missing. I needed direct evidence in an early learning environment, and as the next step in the sequence of fate would have it, I received just such an opportunity. At the turn of 2010, I met up once again with Mr. Tony Jones, who was a former business acquaintance and had direct affiliation with such an organization. In March of that year, I began doing research testing at Smarter Kids Child Care Learning Center. After a few months of initial testing, I witnessed firsthand the sharp improvement of the students' knowledge base, as well as their willingness to learn the material. The music, the dancing, the rapping, all of it intrigued in all the students. And once the directors and the teachers saw the progress of the students, Keys to the Lexus received its first contract the summer of 2010 with Smarter Kids. Since then, K to the L has helped dozens of pre-K students excel in the study of language, and most notable, a brilliant little lady named Olivia has even been considered for advancement directly to the second grade from pre-K. During her academic evaluation, the assessors were simply amazed at her knowledge base and the ease at which she conveyed the information. This is the type of enlightening evidence that I have envisioned and that others have been asking for. And here it is now in a time when it is very much needed. Here, in a time where the academic complex is being assaulted by lack of public funds, local and national criticism, and lack of interest from those whom it is supposed to uplift. The success of a nation is predicated upon the level of knowledge of its people. Language is the fundamental element amongst all fields of study, because to understand the basics of language gives one the conceptual foundation to conquer the other fields. K to the L seeks to bring the richest understanding of language by bridging the multitude of experiences in both the lexical and material world. It is my vision that this union of worlds will elevate our understanding and standing in both worlds. I've been blessed to have many talents, yet I believe the greatest of all my blessings has to be Keys to the Lexus, which has become the deepest reflection of the greatness that I have to offer the world. And in this world, I seek enlightenment from wisdom, the fruit of right knowledge. And as it turns, I await the harvest from the first season of my life's work. So, who is Benjamin Moore, you ask? I'm the creator and CEO of Keys to the Lexus. I'm a proud father and teacher who seeks to uplift the youth through my passion, which is language. And now and forevermore, I wish nothing but the monumentally propitious success of Keys to the Lexus. One more time. Manifest and materialize the monumentally propitious success of Keys to the Lexus. It is so. Blessed be.